Greetings and welcome to another Grand Order video. So it's finally been announced and it's actually coming by pretty quickly this Friday actually. Now we've already gone over the three servants that are coming along, which are Scheherazade, Wu Zetian and Penthesilea, I think that's her name. But anyway, it's called Women of Agartha, so that should give, we already know why that is, in that all the female servants, Astolfo, Delion, and Enkidu will get a bunch of bond points throughout the main missions. However, we're also getting the little pre-launch campaign, which is amazing because we can get a total of 10 Zane Quartz, which is excellent. A million QP, always useful. Blaze of Wisdom, 4 natural on those. Hero Crystals, always useful. Especially now that servants can reach a total of plus 2,000 in attack and defense, so very nice. And we've already gone over the servants. So how about we actually go into the chapter itself and take a look at the fights and what we're going to need to do to beat some of them, because some of them can definitely throw you for a loop. Oh, and by the way, there's Astolfo, there's Delion, and I don't think they've ever given Delion that maid outfit. Kind of a shame. They don't give Astolfo that school outfit either. They give him the little crop top with jacket and something else later in time. And that there is actually a young Fergus MacRaw. I don't think we get him, unfortunately. But anyway, let's move on to the chapter, shall we? Okay, so the first little fight that's going to throw you for a little bit for a loop is this one, Chapter 6, Arrow 4, so the final one of this one. Now here you're actually facing off against Pirate Princess Dahut, and that is actually what can only be described as Francis Drake Alter. I think she looks a lot cooler than normal Francis Drake, actually. Let's show you what, I'll show you what she's like later. But anyway, all enemies see, when you take out her first life bar, or no, when you take her down to her final life bar, all enemies gain increased max HP for 10 turns. And her first, she doesn't have an actual MP, it's just a heal, so it's not particularly difficult. Although the increased max HP, depending on how much it is, can be a little bit troublesome. They are all riders though, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. After that, we go to 8-4, now, no, 8-6, here we go. Now this is where things start getting a little iffy. And that's because we're fighting against Wu Zetian and Scheherazade here. They're working together. I don't know the story, we're gonna see that on Friday. But when you take Wu Zetian down to her final life bar, removes all her buffs and gains a full NP charge. So this is actually very dangerous because it is a single target and it will pretty much kill whoever it hits unless we got invincibility or evade. So that's really why you have to be careful with her. Now Scheherazade gets a 1-turn evade and she has no MP got, so we are dealing with mostly assassins here, so bringing along one rider, probably Kintoki, and a couple of casters that can deal some damage, maybe Xuanzang, Weber, all your standard assassins, probably a good idea. However, that's not all. That is only for the first half of the story. Now we gotta go actually to the second part of the story here, and this is where things get really, really difficult. Well, technically speaking. Here in 10-2, as you can see, at the start of the battle, Berserker Vidualo Penthesilea charges her MP gauge to full. So you need to be ready with a party-wide evade or party-wide invincibility in order for that one servant to survive. Now you can nullify that by taking in mash, triggering her taunt, and then granting her own invincibility buff to herself. That would definitely be useful. And you've only got to take down her first HP bar, so that's definitely good. However, but from that we go on to the next chapter, 11. Now here, it's actually pretty difficult because we are facing off against the Megalos. I don't want to spoil the story, but that is a very, very big and very powerful thing. Now as you can see, enormous 12 labors. Megalos has Gust status 11 times that raises him with 50% HP. As you can see, you're gonna kill him technically 3 times because each one of these revives him with 50% HP for a total of 900,000 HP, but he is a Berserker, which is good and bad because everyone takes enhanced damage except for mash, but then you deal extra damage, so yeah. The other thing I will tell you is he is a male and Greek servant, so I would recommend you bring along your Aeriale, your Tamamo Lancers. Anybody that deals extra damage to males is definitely crucial. And we have to do that 2 more times. As you can see here, he has it again when we remove 4 of his lives, and has an attack down and defense down permanent on himself. Anchor's Way, I believe this is how it's got to do with Mr. Columbus here. And then Arrow 7, as you can see, things get a little bit more tricky, because here, so Megalos Intrusion during first and third battle, so here and here, Megalus attacks randomly, so basically at the end of somebody's turn, somebody gets hit for an attack from Megalus. And then Penthesia does it during the second battle, so yeah, it's almost like they're fighting each other, which I think is part of the story. They're fighting each other and we're just caught in the crossfire. Megalus has Guts 3 times, 50% HP. As always, the player party will skip to the next battle when Megalus loses all his Guts buff. Okay, so you don't actually kill him, you just take him down 3 times. The battle will end where Penthesia's HP bar becomes purple. So when you take down her first HP bar, maybe? Let's see, you just take down the blue. First you eliminate the blue and then you eliminate purple. Okay, so maybe you gotta take her down these 2 times. They are berserkers though, so yeah, it can be a little one way or another. But then we move on to the truly difficult ones. 14. So 14 has these 2 battles. Once again, Megalus and Columbus. I'm gonna guess Columbus takes control of them somehow. Battle ends after 4 turns, or Megalus' first HP bar is removed. Honestly, dealing 400,000 damage to a berserker should not be that particularly hard, especially considering we've got absolutely people that destroy males like Ariale, like Penthesia, like Gene Alter, just being absolutely massive amounts of damage there. So yeah, ignore Columbus, head for Megalus, and basically take him down. But also on Arrow 2 here, things get a little tricky, because now we're fighting Megalus and Columbus again. So Megalus buffs himself with critical damage up for 3 turns, but debuffs himself with quick down, resistance for 3 turns. Okay, not that useful. And then critical rate up for 3 turns, but debuffs himself with Arch Stun. Now this is when Ariale comes in and absolutely destroys him. Just enough for 3 turns. And Columbus buffs an enemy team. Oh boy, Columbus buffs the enemy team with Pierce Invisibility. So clearly take down Megalus first and then head for Columbus. That is clearly what you need to do. Otherwise, Megalus is going to be destroying your party with that Pierce Invincibility buff. And then on to the truly final here. Chapter 16. So let's see, Prince of Marble, whatever. Anyway, receive reduced damage from servants with king traits. So don't use anybody that is a king. If we want to figure out who is a king, that could affect her, kings that are riders. So don't bring in Ramses. That'll be a very bad time because he's a king. Nitocris as well. Don't bring Gore along. Don't bring Mordred. Don't bring Arthur Prototype. Anybody that's actually a king, yeah, you don't want to bring along. All enemies except Sherazade receive taunt 10 turns. So basically, once you take down her first life bar, basically whoever she has with her, you will only be able to attack them for 10 turns. So you gotta kill them in order to get Sherazade down again. So she may not have a lot of HP, but each time you take on one of her bars, you have to take down her little thingamajigs. So obviously AoE Noble Phantasms are the way to go here. So let's see who would be a good idea to, well, Tamamo Cat could be good. She could do enhanced damage to everybody and essentially take down those. And if you focus on Sherazade to charge up your MP bar, that can be the way to go. Now, Arrow 2, Demon God Phoenix, you obviously saw that's coming. Takes reduced damage from servants with king traits, so yeah, no kings this time. And may charm and inflict HP reduction every turn that lasts for 2 turns toward another party member. So they can reduce the maximum AP of that servant and charm, so yeah. Should it be too difficult, it's only 1 HP bar with 700,000 HP. Bring your riders and you should be good to go. Now, Arrow 4. Again, Demon of Forgiven God Phoenix here, but now he is a ruler. So you make sure you bring along your Gene Altars. Has a Guts buff status that revives with 100% HP, permanent, unremovable. Demon God Phoenix can use the following skills. Single target instant death combined with death rate down. That is not cool. Single target charm combined with a 1-turn delay HP reduction buff. So at the end of your turn, the servant afflicted by it reduces their HP. And self-cleanse, 1 turn incoming debuff negation, MP God's single take charge. Yeah, so pretty much your standard pillar for a while. But for MP, it will first attempt to remove any buffs that aren't from craft essences. So you cannot evade this no matter what you do. Party-wide AoE multiple hit damage. All party members will be afflicted with a 1000 tick per turn debuff. The battle will end after Phoenix used his guts 2 times. So you basically gotta take him down twice. And because you can't actually use any skills to undo the damage, you basically gotta come in with either an innate guts buff from your craft essence, or come in with the volume hydrargyrum, and which is the one that makes you immune to an attack for 1 attack or 3 attacks at limit break, I think it was. But yeah, this battle can be a little tricky because of that. Now, and then once again, you gotta fight this guy a lot of times. I think it's pretty much the same thing. Has Guts permanent and removal, Guts will fully heal him. After 10 turns, passive will be removed. He has an instant death skill, but if by any chance the boss's Guts status is triggered, the skill automatically trigger and debuffs the boss with max HP down permanent status. Yeah. Not really sure what this means, but the boss's Guts status is triggered. This skill automatically trigger and debuffs the boss with max HP down. Oh, okay. So we gotta take him down. Dying Demon Guts has permanent removable, Guts will fully heal. After 10 turns, but passive will be removed. Instant death skill. Okay, so basically, during these 10 turns, the more you take him down, the less HP he will have. However, he is a ruler, and we do have a couple new tools to deal with rulers. We do have Jalter, obviously. And then we also have Stetsu Kiara, who deals extra damage to humanoids and to rulers, I think. So 50% extra damage is not bad. And then outside of that, we've got our Berserkers, and yeah. Demon God Pillar, yeah, could be a tricky fight. And then that is it, yeah. So yeah, these final fights are definitely the trickiest of all, especially considering you can't avoid his normal phantasm. And I'm not sure how many MP ticks he has, so I'm not sure how much time you have before you eat his normal phantasm. So I'm trying to think here. So going with Guts on Craft Instance is probably the way to go. That's probably the way to go, definitely. So yeah, so as you can see, there are definitely some fights here that can throw you for a little bit of a loop, especially the ones against the Megalos. Let's see, which one was other... Oh yeah, this one definitely can throw you for a loop because the randomness of Petensei and Megalos hitting somebody can be very random. So it might suddenly kill off that one servant that just managed to survive. So yeah, not cool. But yeah, other than that, this is a relatively short chapter, only 16 chapters. And I guess that'll depend on the story. And obviously, Astofa and DeLeon are going to be the stars of this show here. It's a shame they don't get those outfits as, whatchamacallem, dress codes, I believe they're called in this game. But anyway, what do we say we take a look at Megalos himself, shall we? So this is the Megalos. As you can see, it's basically a giant super powerful Heracles servant here. He's absolutely very, very, very big. And as always, so let's see, 1 turn evade, debuff target with taunt, oh dear, that's not nice, and self-attack and mental debuff resistance, well, very similar. Passive skills, Grants of Guts, and depending on the fight, cannot be removed through any skill effects. So these are the servants that deal extra damage to Megalos in some way or another. Now, out of all these servants, the ones I would highly recommend are Pandacea's 4-star, so if you get her, definitely bring her along. Scatha can absolutely destroy him since she deals extra damage to Divine. He can stun them. He's obviously immune to death, so don't do that. And Kinu can stun him as well. Nobunaga requires the 3rd skill, as well as Martha. I'm probably going to be using these two. Well, not this Nobunaga over here. We're not going to have this Nobunaga yet. That's this summer, I believe, so that's in August. Let's see, what do we have here? This is an AoE, so it probably won't hit that hard, but he's still very good. Earth or Sky only. These are all AoE servants, so I wouldn't highly recommend those. Oh, here we go. Arthur gets the shine here with dealing extra damage to large monsters. Aurelia and Tamamo, obviously, against Mayo, Meb as well. I don't think instant death works on this guy. Let's take a look. Death rate, so that's his resistance. I'm not sure. Because he is technically a servant, death might work on him? I'd be very interesting to try because I've never actually used Steno for obvious reasons, but yeah. So who of all these people should you bring along? Well, as we just said, Skathek is definitely good. She comes with an evade and some very powerful 1-turn steroids. Both Nobunaga and Martha Ruler can deal extra damage to Divine, although Martha has some trouble raising her MP bar. Arthur against large could definitely be useful, and it's part of his MP as well, so very nice. Actually, no, that's part of his skill. Steno, Tamamo Lancer, no, Aurelia and Tamamo Lancer are definitely the ones I'm going to try using here. I don't have Meb. I'm very curious if Steno will actually be able to kill him, because I think her death rate against males is 80%, which is pretty crazy, but That's what I'm going to try to do later. So yeah, the Megalos, a pretty intimidating foe, especially during that fight where he attacks randomly. But yeah, the Woman of Agartha. This is going to be an interesting chapter, and considering that there are only males over here, you're basically coming in and yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time when we actually show how we deal with well, those fights we just talked about, the Megalos and all the other crazy stuff that shows up. So anyway, we will see you next time.